Live streaming is on.
And I feel like the most important thing of like slowing down and getting organized is this line 103, which would be to set our team, the life support program up for success. For me, that is really like the primary goal, you know, so it's not really one thing or another. It's just like, let's just do the minimal required to set up what is necessary for the program to be successful in the future. Because I don't see any point of just doing an internal thing, because that if it doesn't set the program up for success, if it doesn't actually lead the trajectory to be successful eventually, then it's pointless, right? So we need to do enough for the internal process that it sets the organization or sets the program up for success, right? And so by just by being disorganized internally and just moving forward with scheduling in this disorganization, it doesn't set the program up for success. And for me, that is a problem. Check.
For me too.
So I think that, you know, we obviously
let's get organized. Let's do
priorities,
the policy and
yeah. Did you say policies? Policies?
No, I mean let's do the work by policy, responsibility, organizing, being organized, and
time to pause.
The priorities and.
A second pause. So anyways, moving on here, I got the getting our priorities clear, right? So when we make our list of priorities, like we're doing now, right? So list of priorities, and then eventually we want to prioritize our priorities like we always do. And then we're basically going to be creating some type of life support alliance, you know, launch plan, right? So we're creating some type of plan that we're going to be following and moving forward with, right? To set ourselves up for success. And the first part of the plan is the internal sort of mini process, right? So we definitely think, I feel like we need the single invitation email is like super key, but we have that. We also can practice our policy, right? Practice policy of, you know, highlighting yellow on both documents that they are duplicates. Okay, so we can practice our duplication of documents policy. Or we can do policy tracking on that. And I feel like the 1 to 2 pager is important because it's not about working on the 1 to 2 pager. This is just about, you know, getting it started. I feel like when I read this email, the previous email that's more organized and has lots of details, that there's a few things here that are just obviously should go into a 1-pager, right? And so some of these things we can copy and paste into the 1-pager. Some of these we can leave them both, but basically anything we want to delete from the email but should be in the 1-pager, we should have the 1-pager ready so that we can get that started. We need to organize the main sheet, the work organizing sheet. We need to organize the responsibilities, know where the responsibilities are. And then eventually we need to get agreement. And I feel like we just shouldn't move forward with anything until there is agreement. And I'm really glad, like Alberto, you almost sent out emails before. I'm really glad we didn't send out any emails because that would have just been an even bigger disaster. Cool. So that's my brain. Oh, and I also started a list of future steps and priorities of things that maybe we don't want to do now, but we want to do later, which would be like the website and the landing page and onboarding process, and you know all of like the pipeline process. Number 1. So there's a lot of other things that we're going to want to do eventually. You know, I think it's important to understand the budget. You know, can this be client work? Can this be client work, etc., and try to figure that out.
Time for breath.
You want to do the breath?
Inhale. Exhale. Inhale together. Exhale, relax.
Julio. So in terms of following the policy, I don't know if you've seen me do it before, but it looks more like this. I'll do it in line 106. So star, 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 star. This document is duplicated, you know, to other version. Star, 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 star. And so you want it very, very big, you know, bold, and then bright yellow. And then also it needs to go in the middle at the top. Must go in the middle at the top. This would be, you know, right above the title or whatever, you know, but below the uplinks, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It should be right in the middle, right? The middle of the top of the page, you can't miss it. All right, are there any other next steps or priorities?
Do we want to look at the schedule real quick?
For what? For the wrap up?
No, to see when's the next session for live support.
I think it would be Saturday.
Yeah, I think so too, but I'm not sure.
Or we can prioritize during main session. So I guess we're done here. I mean, no one has anything else to add they want to add.
I think, yeah, that's good. That's very good. Yeah. So in the end, we went for goal 2 and I guess 3 as well.
As far as the goals, yeah, getting organized. Getting organized. Make sure our links. I mean, option 5, option 3. Yeah, all of these are super key. But I mean, when I was asking for what our goal was, I was talking about our goal for this session, because we were just
I get it. Yeah.
I wasn't going anywhere, and I was like, what are we even trying to do here? This is just like confusing me, right? So as far as like this session being over, it's like, how do we want to move forward? You know, obviously, if we don't get organized, we're just going to repeat this session over and over again.
Time
And so,
for pause.
5-second pause. So in terms of like preventing a repeat of this session, in the future, we need to be organized, right? So let's just like take a step back, get organized, and then this will never happen again. And we'll just get organized. We'll know exactly what needs to be done. And it'll be fine. Be much, much easier. Coolio. But the primary goal is still to do the internal session and like basically internal scheduling, right? That's our primary goal. And then our secondary goals, in order to make that go smoothly, to set us up for success, is getting organized and dealing with all of our organizing and processes. Because, you know, just scheduling for me is not enough. We have to set the program up for success. So as long as we're setting the program up for success, I'm happy. But if we're just scheduling for the sake of scheduling and then it doesn't go anywhere and it's just another mess, that's not going to help anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyways, I feel like I'm done with this. Let me just make sure we actually followed the policy here. This document. So yeah, so again, it just needs to go below the uplinks like that. You see?
It was below the uplinks. Right. I thought right on
You're
top.
putting it above the uplink.
Below the uplinks. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
But below the uplinks. Yeah, I'm gonna put this policy in the essence. Policy essence.
Yeah. So on our policy, anytime you create a duplication of documents, you just make sure you do the heading in this case, and then you make sure it's clear and that they're both documents are linked to each other, and it's like that's it. That's all that's required. And then you're following policy, right? So it's not against policy to duplicate documents. It's just against policy to copy and paste the same information in other locations. That's against policy. But yeah, as long as you make it clear that the documents are duplicated, you're following policy. And then In relationship to the next step of this process would obviously be to processing actually the deletion of one of the documents. In this case, I think it's very easy to know exactly what document is going to be deleted. So eventually we can do that, and I'm not worried about it. I just wanted to practice the policy since we had the opportunity to practice it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anytime you want to go ahead and delete one of them or delete the one that we don't need, you can delete it, and then you can remove the duplication of the document. But for now, it's like whatever. If you just want to leave it, that's fine too. You can deal with it later. But I do want to make sure that we're getting organized with all our priority lists. So
Time to stretch.
30-second stretch. So I'm copying and pasting this into our Support Alliance work organizing spreadsheet. All right. So I mean, I feel like I'm done with this. It was pretty brutal topic, but I feel like we're finally getting a little organized here. We have our priorities list, and then we just I think there's going to be 3 primary documents. So I'm on line 120. So there's 3 primary spreadsheets. There's going to be the main sheet, right? So the main sheet is obviously the most important one. Then you have the worker organizing spreadsheet, which is going to have all of our planning and next steps, right? And then you have the responsibility organizing spreadsheet, right? Which is like the the exact process for life support. That makes sense? Like the worker organizing spreadsheet is always separate from the responsibility organizing spreadsheet, right?
Yeah.
So these are the 3 primary spreadsheets that we're going to have. And then as long as those are all organized, we should be able to find all the responsibility organizing. We should be able to find all of the current priorities and the rank, the scoring of those priorities, and also the links to everything we could ever possibly imagine, including the email that we drafted and couldn't find for whatever reason. So that's going here. So let's see, email is right here. But awesome. All right, so we're starting to get organized. This is good. And then this is also the invitees list. We'll make sure that, okay, good. Got that organized. All right, so we're slowly getting organized, and this is all going to be prioritized. So this is priority score. All right.
Great.
I think we're done. So should we go into our wrap up, or I mean, I don't think we're gonna move on to any other
Time
topic.
to pause.
Should we go into our wrap up, or?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. Are people doing other things or something? I mean, I just feel like it's just so weird energy right now. But I don't know.
No,
well,
sorry,
I
Jay.
think
I'm having a bit of communication problems. I hear you a bit in it's come and going. I'm just copying and pasting this into my personal organizing spreadsheet. These notes, because they need to be all organized. I can do it later. Don't worry. But I couldn't hear you very well. No, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I'm here too. I was just looking at all the topics we didn't get to, so that'll just be another time. But at least we got organized for that, and we can talk about. So when are we gonna talk about the launch plan and other stuff?
Yeah.
So then,
So that's what I want to go through now is our schedule. So let's pop
Yeah.
open the
Right.
team schedule, take a look at what the next schedule sessions look like. So yeah, so for tonight,
You can find it linked in the wrap up.
Yeah, I'm in the wrap up tab now. Okay, so I would say tomorrow morning's Hydra Showcase, Umbrella Showcase website work. So, I could probably be available for tomorrow to do Hydra Hour 3 and really jump into the pipeline process, SVG review, and also we could even work on some of the. So I'm open to that. That'll be like 12 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Then we have our main session tomorrow. So main session tomorrow, I feel like main session could be a great time to prioritize, for example, identity. We can prioritize CCC, right? So let's make a list here. So line 25 and wrap up. So main session priorities, priority topics. So I think we could definitely, obviously, do CCC review. We can do, more life. Well, maybe life support. I don't know. Do identity for Umbrella Showcase website.
Yeah, and also we may also do the plan.
Yeah, plan Umbrella Showcase
Start
website.
with the plan.
Planning priorities.
Time for breath.
Oh, you want to do the breath?
Yeah, inhale, exhale, inhale together, exhale, relax.
Oh, we could also do the review, right? So SVG experience review. That would be a great thing to do as a team. Can you think of any other top priority topics for tomorrow?
No, I mean, there's always the network equity, but I mean, I don't know if you're ready. Maybe we want to take some more time.
Again, the network equity is just the thing to prioritize. For example, if we just stopped a half an hour ago, we could have just done the entire end of the session on value tracking, and the network equity is literally the same thing. I mean, that's what I want to do. Is I want us to, if you follow the model that I have, instead of like what you're proposing, doing it once a month, it's like every single session, which means that every single session we can prioritize network equity. It's just a matter of prioritizing it. You see what I'm saying? And it happens at the end of the session, which means we have to wrap up and get organized before the end of the session, make sure everything closes down so that you have enough time and energy to go through the network equity or to take a break and come back and have time to do it. So you just need to know you're going to do it and to prioritize it and make it a priority for the whole team. Like, I mean, you can imagine once you get it going, everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, we really need to wrap up and stop the session. Otherwise we don't get any value, right?
Yeah.
So we could do network equity, but we can prioritize network equity after the session is over, as long as we can get the session to end.
Yeah, I really like to, because we're about to start the next beta round, and I would like to include that.
Well, again, the what you're proposing for the power token for me is different than the network equity at the end of every session, but it's like I'm down to discuss the power token as well as like what, for depending on how we want to set it up and what we want to do with it. Or maybe it's not even power token. Maybe it's just like
yeah, I mean, the power token is
involvement token. So, anyways, I'm happy to discuss that, but I just want to
Time to pause.
5-second pause. I just want to separate out the existing network equity model that we've never talked about. Like, have we ever talked about that? Like, actually done the network equity? I know I've sent you links before, but we've never really talked about it. You know what I mean? and it's been a year.
Yeah, we never reviewed the calculations and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're proposing this whole new model, which is similar to that, and it is related to it, but really, it's not the same thing. And it's like, you know, I was thinking about different options and how we could play around with it. But anyways, let's just leave it as is and prioritize a topic for like some type of you know, equality token, I think is kind of what you're going for, you know, so there's some type of equality token that we can discuss, but then the network equity happens after the session. It happens every single session, whether it's a buddy team or a main session. Main session is obviously better. So I'd love to do it after the main session tomorrow if we can prioritize time for it.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. I'm not proposing to do anything new or different. Just for me as well, the focus is first the network equity, and then the token and all that we can see in a second moment. But the network equity,
actually doing something new and different, actually, it might be the best option in this case. So I have ideas. I just don't want to go into it now because you know what will happen if I go into it now. We'll never get out of here. So are there any other priorities that you have, Mel, for the main session tomorrow besides just like CCC review and?
I just wanted to let you know, like, let's see, let me get back to the notes. Here, Jay, two things is, this is what I use to clean my Mac. There's a free version. They just, they identify things that could help speed up your Mac. And then the other thing is, for some reason, I did send you guys an email about it, but it's not a big priority because, but it is something to know because following the website update yesterday, somehow the WCTC link doesn't work anymore.
Which you guys one? See? The one, the WCTC.world?
Yeah.
It was working yesterday. Remember we worked on it?
I know. So this is that works, and then if you could, I don't know why. So I'll try to sort it out.
Oh, it goes to Cause Collective Community.
But what is that, your end or my end? That was the only thing I can do.
Oh, yeah. But remember, we never fixed it because I wasn't able to log into the name server where it's on my end. Remember, I wasn't able to log in.
So right. Okay. So then it's just something to note. Okay.
Time to take a break.
Yeah. So that's something that I could look into really quickly here and just I just need to log into the server and then see if we got an email. Because I did send the ticket and try to get the email going, but I'm just not sure what happened with it. So let me see.
Okay, so yeah, that's the current website. So I'm updating both right now with minor details. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for now. I can share more later.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Well, so I'm just going to take care of that really quick right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to try to log into the website domain real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And see if I'm able to log in. If I can log in, that'll be great. If I can, I'm going to try to check the email. And then if there's an email, I'll try that. If there's not an email, I'll just have to figure out some other way of accessing it, which would not be good, but we'll see.
Okay.
I did a policy keeping. We missed a break. Any other policies?
I don't think so.
Not that I can think of now. But I'd say overall we're like a 4 on the policies for the session if you want to add my take on it.
Because of the workflow.
Just like the policies that we're tracking. We definitely did not do great on the rhythm either because it kept stopping and I didn't really.
But also, I mean, the way that we started to, I mean, the top topic too was, I mean, it's totally, I mean, we're ignoring the way that we usually do work at all. I don't know if we actually break a policy, but I'm glad that we stopped and we, all right, let's get back and get organized.
Yeah, this has been an ongoing problem with life support for a while, though, which is unfortunate. So I think that's partly why we're where we are now, is because it's just this has been happening for so long. All right, so I was trying to log in, it didn't work. So now I'm going to try to get into the server and see if we got an email. All right, so we need to...
Okay.
I feel like I've never really had a problem trying to get into an account based on just like an email. I mean, it's kind of weird that they're like locking me out of my account because of an email, even though I have my password correct. It's like really weird.
That is strange.
Especially when I've never done that before. Like I've been, with them for like 10 years and they've never done this before. And now it's like randomly like, sorry, you can't get into your account because your email. And it's like, ugh, God.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But this should be able to be.
I'm going through your old websites right now. I've never seen some of these before. Like
my websites? Oh no.
yeah, because I'm trying. Just getting things organized. This is the crazy planetary calendar down line here, line 45, which is interesting. I've never seen this before. This is a tangent. Some of them are working, some of them are not working, but okay. Well, while you do that, yeah, I don't know. I guess so. Then tomorrow, I'll join for as much of the main session as I can.
Okay.
Yep, and then Alberta, sounds like you're working a lot. 57 hours a week is not a joke.
Yeah, it's my record. I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
I need to get... Yeah, I mean, it's just I've never worked so much in my life like this last month. Never.
Oh my gosh.
Because if you include also the work that I do I mean, there's still some work that I do maybe a couple of hours per day for the mining project, and also I have this. I give some private German lesson to this.
Oh wow.
18 years old. Yeah, 3 times per week.
Hey,
1.5 hours per day.
Wow.
Okay, so I did get a contact information back from them, and it is complicated to say the least. So,
Yeah.
Let me get some help on this. So really quickly, I think it's best just to make a new tab here. So we're doing the WCTC website, right? This is topic 3, WCTC site. Okay, so yeah, I put the email that they sent me in there. It is definitely a little complicated.
That is funny. They said we understand your feelings. Interesting. Please be happy. Okay.
So I need to do 2 things. They need the Namecheap username, domain name / any service located in the account to be able to check the case properly. I mean, what does that even mean? So I have my username. And then it says the domain name. So they just want a list of the domains under the service. Is that what they're asking?
Yeah. Any other domains you have under that account, I suppose.
Okay, so let's give this a try. So
And
I
what is this? Submit valid ID. I don't know.
so the domain names are obviously this is the wctc.world, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the bills list should have all this, but we don't keep the bills list organized. So let me see if I can see what I can find here. Let's see.
Yeah, so Mel.
Mhm.
Yeah, also
Yes.
it's 50% of those hours is together with Jay. So,
Wow, that's a lot. But you're Italian,
Yeah.
right? You speak Italian, English, and German? Interesting, right?
yeah, in German and Portuguese. Yeah, in Portuguese.
Dang.
Yeah, German. I went for the first 10 years in the German school of Milan. So since the kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and then I went to an American high school in Switzerland. That's why I learned English well.
Oh, interesting. Very cool. Well, while we're talking about the WCTC website, can I ask you guys? I know Jay has an issue. I think I know Jay's opinion on this, but I wanted to bring it up. But it shouldn't take that long. It's about the sponsorship application form. Do you guys have time for that, or we could do it
Sure,
tomorrow?
but the other thing that they want me to do is a government issued ID via submit.validation.com. So I guess this is like a link that.
Yeah, I just checked it out. It looks pretty legit. That you have to.
I think it's like a specialized link from this particular situation. Security, submit your ID. Over the next step, security, take a step. Okay. All right. So I guess I just need to do those 2 steps. Oh, and look at it. It's branded under their website too. All right. That's good. Okay. Anyways, this is a pain in the butt, but hopefully this will get us access back to the account. So I don't actually have a list of all the current websites under them. I only have a list of all websites that we've ever gotten. So I might need to check each one of these individually and see which ones are currently active, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then I ideally they would have our email, our active, my name on them. That would be the goal here, is that they would be able to verify my personal name with the actual Whois lookup. You know what the Whois lookup is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say what you were saying again in terms of the.
No, are you so are you good?
I
Like,
think I'm good. I think I'm good now. Yeah.
okay, you have to wait for the response basically.
Oh my God, we used to have fishtank.tv. This is part of. I don't think we have that anymore.
Nope, I lost all the fish tank stuff. It's evolved.
Funny. All right, cool. So I think this is the list right here. I don't know which ones of these are active, but I don't think it should really matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I should look up every single one? Or
No, send that's sufficient.
Okay,
located
cool.
in the account. Yeah, so that.
All right. So what were you saying again, Mel?
No, go for it. Don't you have to submit that now? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm done with all the work. I just need to put it into the email. So
Okay.
You can.
Okay, so basically, you guys want to. What I'm working on is the application form. So this is the current. Anyways, the domain is active and linked. It took like an hour, but then it's totally active. I'm working on the application. It's a form. Basically, this is the current form that Jay uses, which is in Google Docs. And then this is how I did it in the past with WCTC, because I wanted to make it simple and kind of pretty. But I know, Jay, you have an issue with, well, then we have to export this form into Excel, and basically we should be using Google Docs. I don't know if we should, and I guess I could embed Google Docs as the application, but I think it gives a weird vibe. Yeah. So just feedback on that. What do you guys think?
I think that would be a very important priority to go over.
What is the priority?
The application for the sponsorship program.
Yeah.
I mean, the primary difference between my perception and anyone else's is that most organizations have a whole application process, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my perspective, it's not an application process because we don't do fiscal sponsorship, we do cooperativeship. And so it's a collaborative proposal. Right?
You don't want to call it an application. You want to call it, that's fine with me. Let's call it a proposal moving forward or something like that. Or an inquiry or something. Collaborative.
Yeah, the proposal is the focal point. Right? So because the goal is to get agreement on a collaboratively generated proposal that meets the criteria and that is agreeable, right? With the council and with the board, etc. So I think the application is fine for interest. Like you apply, like, oh, I'm interested, this is what I'm interested in. But then we would be following up with, okay, you need to create a proposal. Like this is the next step.
Okay, so I can use the website. I still plan to use the website just for general lead capture, but then we'll let them know that it'll go to the Google Doc later on. It's just not on the website.
Well, we could have it on the website, but we could have it a separate process. You'd be like, hey, this is more or less what we do for our process of building a proposal. But to get started, you can just apply into our program, or we could say like you could apply into our starter program or whatever to get initiated, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically, you know, they give us their information and we make sure they're getting into the right location, or at least ideally into the right direction, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the nice thing about having a document that represents the proposal is that it is editable.
I know you were going to say that it's editable, and it's actually more work if they do this and then we just copy and paste it over or export it. Yeah, but I don't know how to solve that. But then we have to schedule a session and then create a new doc each time, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we should make it a topic in a session and work on it properly.
Well, no, but it's their responsibility. It's their proposal.
Right.
But the way we want to present it, right? Or the way that we want to present it and everything. I mean, also explaining what's the difference between our sponsorship program and a normal fiscal sponsorship program.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing, okay, let's just say we keep the document model, right, with the template and everything like that. If you go to that document, at the very top of it, there's a link that says these are the instructions for.
Yep, I have the instructions here too.
I think that should be our focus, because the instructions is not professional. The instructions should be on the website. The instructions should be a clear flow process of what is the process and what is the flow of basically setting up, presenting, and finalizing your proposal to get your program accepted into the council and having a vote and being part of our cooperativeship. Like that is basically, I think, the focus of what we want to make professional. Because the document itself is not a big deal, that it's a doc and a proposal as opposed to an application. But the presentation of the template can be done through the process of how you create, like we can just create a whole flow out of that, so that it's not just like the template with these random instructions, but the instructions are broader that go before the actual template, and then the template's just part of the flow of the actual process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So that's explaining all that, putting the content there. So okay, it's in progress, but that's good feedback for now. Yeah.
And we might even want to have another Google site with just like a landing flow model for the sponsorship program. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But But I'm definitely down to like basically saying like, here, this is line 55 here. So step 1 could be, you know, application for initial consideration, right? And then step 2, you know, enter flow process for building and getting collaborative / co-op agreement on program, right? And then step 3 is like, you know, final official legal agreement. And then step 4 is basically onboarding and initial or onboarding and setup of their program under the umbrella, you know? So maybe it's something like that, you know?
Yeah, I need to describe the process a lot more about this. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
All right.
But the key thing here is that they need to understand the reason why our process is a little bit more involved is because the final official agreement means you get full rights and, you know, can represent the umbrella corporation, you know, and a vote on the council, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's basically they have full legal it's like a marriage, right? It's the equivalent of a marriage.
Right.
So in that context, hopefully they understand what cooperativeship is and understand how it all works, so that they understand why the process is a little bit more involved, and like, oh yeah, you just sign up, you don't even have to talk to anybody, and then we send you your debit card, and then you have 501c3 nonprofit status, right? Without even really talking to anybody.
No,
right?
Yeah.
Like that's how some of those fiscal sponsorship places work, you know?
Right. Okay. So
I will get to it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, that handles it for tonight for the CCC. This part of the website is needs to be revamped.
And
So
so this could be a, you know, significantly simplified, right? So if we change step 1 application from the actual proposal, it could be significantly simplified, you know? So it could be like maybe 3 to 5 questions, you know, like much simpler instead of 10, you know?
mm-hmm.
Just to get an initial idea of like, you know, what is it that you're doing, you know, why are you doing it? Like that's really all we need to know, right? And then when you enter the flow process, like you have the full 10 question proposal.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say we wanted to do it proposal. I think this would either be a scheduled support session, like because a lot of people need help with the proposals, or it would be like a video instructions, right? Instructions that we could record and actually talk them through it, and they would just watch the video on YouTube and then learn how to do the proposal.
Mm-hmm. That works. Yeah, that's good to have. So.
And we could also explain in that video why and what cooperativeship is and all that stuff and what the proposal is and how really the proposal is legally setting up their program, including the building their leadership committee, right? Mm-hmm. They don't understand that by just reading the template, but we're doing so much more than just a proposal. We're actually, because the only people that actually approve the proposal is their own leadership team.
Right.
You know, mm-hmm. And then we just review the proposal and basically stamp it. But the primary agreement is not us approving their application. It's them approving their own proposal to set up their legal structure.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually, everything's in reverse. You know, the whole model that we have is actually totally reversed. We don't have the power. It's about empowering them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a super strong, unique selling point. That's why it's very important that we highlight that, the difference from anything else there is in the world.
Yeah, so the primary process for step 2, or this would be process 2, right, would be setting up their leadership team.
Right.
Because we don't even look at their proposal until the board doesn't even review the proposal for stamping it until their leadership team has gotten full agreement on the proposal itself and documented it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's definitely a very different process than most nonprofit fiscal sponsorship. But it's good to note that with CCC, we do offer hobby sponsorship as well as pass-throughs, and it's a much lower margin and level of leadership committees. Like, we don't require full leadership committees or anything like that for CCC, whereas for WCTC we require a much higher bar. But I think the proposal itself still is important. Important part of the process. And they vote on the proposal first, we vote on the proposal second. And us being the council and the board, the bouncil, the CCC bouncil. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, I'm doing this like validation thing, right? And the first thing it says is that make sure you're dressed and have your full clothing on. It's funny.
Isn't it just your government ID? You have to take a live photo? That's weird.
Yeah, it looks like a live photo here. They want a live photo.
I guess it is hardcore. Some domains are worth a lot of money. I don't know.
True, yes. Oh my God, I can't see myself. Ridiculous. I guess that works. No, oh, here we go. All right. So it's similar to our recruitment process. Now that I'm thinking about it, where in our recruitment process, the intake form is optional. So basically, we're creating an optional intake form, which is our quote application or whatever we want to call it. And then once you're accepted, you're not being accepted as a sponsored program. You're being accepted into the process of presenting your proposal, right?
Yeah.
And then basically that would be equivalent to a POP, right? So someone's in our recruitment process, your POP is equivalent to your sponsorship proposal. They're your legal established relationship with the co-op.
Okay. Yes, I need to get this set up and explained in a flow chart on the somewhere on the website. But this is good to review and remember.
Very important. Yeah. Anyways, guys, so if I don't know if we're done, I'm gonna check out. So anything else?
I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're good.
Okay. All right.
So
Talk to you later, guys. Perfect.
Yeah,
Good work.
This is good that we're moving forward with the website. We actually got a bunch done for the CCC here, then resetting up the whole process. I think Alberto, that what we just talked about with Mel is going to become a system with multiple processes.
For sure. Yeah.
So let's note that down, that this would basically be this cooperative ship system or something like that, like new org cooperative ship system or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very important. This content is actually very important for the other sponsorship, the main sponsorship website too, which I'm thinking about.
Absolutely. Yes. It's all the same. It's all the same process, but it's just slightly more focused for CCC. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Great work.
Okay. Yeah. Good meeting. Thank you, Gong.
Thank you.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.